Hello and welcome back to the channel, and in today's video I am going to be going over my top 5 favorite space battles in all of Star Trek. Now, there's only one criterion for this list, and that is we have to have seen the battle on screen at some point. Flashbacks do count, so with that being said, let's dive right into this list. Now, Star Trek Into Darkness isn't the best Trek movie, far from it, though I do enjoy it for what it is. But the Battle of the Enterprise versus the Vengeance is so good, and the lead up to the showdown in the warp bubble, where just as the Enterprise leaves, Khan is like, "Oh, how cute! You think you can escape at warp? Think again, fuckers." And then the sound of the Vengeance at warp is just mwah, chef's kiss. I remember being blown away by it back in 2013 when I saw it in cinema, and even now listening to it on my good headphones still gives me a chill. That's not the only reason why I chose it. It's also kind of fun watching the Enterprise getting 7 colors of shit beat out of it, and it goes a long way to develop this version of Kirk by having him lose his crew. The only downside is when it said just how far away from Earth they are. Why didn't they see it? There's people living on the moon, according to the best Star Trek movie ever made, First Contact. And surely that they would have been near or basically in front of Starbase 1, right? Anyway, good seeing the Enterprise getting its shit beaten. Let's move on to number 4. This is the only TOS episode to make the list, and it's probably the best, not including the motion picture era, because that will show up later on in this list. But this one is honestly so good. Before I had sat down to watch every episode of TOS back in 2023, I had only watched a few episodes, this being one of them, and I was blown away by how amazing it was. The cat and mouse chase of the Enterprise and the Bird of Prey, the submarine warfare feel to it, Kirk and the Romulan captain trying to outthink and outmaneuver one another. Mark Leonard as the Romulan captain is one of my favorite performances in this episode. And I even enjoyed the remake that they did in the season 1 finale of Strange New Worlds, seeing how Pike would have handled the situation. Also, the Bird of Prey is such a good looking ship design for the time, since we didn't really get to see many ships in the original series as it was airing. Hell, it wasn't until season 3 that we got to see what a Klingon ship looked like. But all in all, this is probably the best ship battle in all of the original series. So for number 3, I went with the UFP, Klingons, and Romulans versus the Dominion over Cardassia. This is the battle that ended the Dominion War in a victory for the Alpha Quadrant powers, and the end of one of the best Trek shows out there. This battle, when I first watched it a few years ago, had me on the edge of my seat. While I knew the outcome of the battle from different Trek shows, plus Trek YouTubers, what was described to me did not do this battle justice. Because holy hell, is it such a great and bloody battle that if it was not for my number 1 and number 2 picks, this would have been number 1. And I'm sure that this is a lot of people's number 1. Now, for this, I'm looking at both the original version of the battle as seen on the DVDs, Netflix, Paramount Plus, etc., but also the amazing remaster they did for the What We Left Behind documentary. Because when I first finished DS9, I jumped right to watch it because I wasn't ready to say goodbye to these characters. Seeing all the different ship classes is another reason why I love this battle. I'm not a car person, hate them, but starships from Star Trek, oh, I won't shut up about how beautiful they look and how amazing it is to see the different ship classes during the battle. Yes, we mainly see them getting their asses handed to them, but show me an Akira class, Excelsior class, and it's guaranteed to put a smile on my face, even if it is being destroyed. I bet you all thought that this was going to be my number 1. Well, joke's on you. Whilst working on this video, I rewatched all the battles, and when it came down to my number one and my number two, I just couldn't put this as my number one. Don't get me wrong, I still love it, and it's my favorite Borg battle of all of Trek from my favorite and best Trek movie ever. It also introduced us to new ship classes, since we didn't really get to see many through TNG and DS9, bar the Defiant herself. The main one that I fell in love with is not the Sovereign Enterprise E, but the Akira class USS Thunderchild. My main issue with the battle is how short it is. Like, yeah, I get it, it's the beginning of the movie. But not only that, Picard let a few ships get destroyed before he set fire and the explosion of the cube. Love the Easter egg of the Falcon from Star Wars, since ILM did the VFX though. Well, well, well. I bet this is a surprise to a few of my friends on here, especially AJ over at AJ's Movie Place, to have the Battle of the Mutar Nebula at number one. But how can it not be number one? I know I'm known for not liking Wrath of Khan, and that still holds. First Contact is a better movie, but this battle is legendary in all three acts of the battle. From the first bout where Khan, who has taken control of the Reliant, kicking the shit out of the Enterprise, who is unaware that it's Khan who's doing it, until he decides to reveal himself to rub dirt in their eyes, to then getting his ass kicked down a peg or two, when Kirk and co. pull up the command codes and force the Reliant to lower her shields, to the second run in after Khan thought he had trapped Kirk on the Genesis asteroid, to Kirk goading him to follow the Enterprise into the Meteor Nebula, kicking them up the arse, and then the final meeting where the Enterprise gets to give Khan the ultimate kick up the arse to force him to ignite the Genesis device. But it also was at the cost of Spock's life. Well, until the next film. And with that being said, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what your favorite space battles are in all of Star Trek in the comments down below, and whether or not you agree with my picks. I'll see you all on the very next upload.